Alright, so Rugby 25 has arrived in early access. It costs 50 beans in the Steam store, that's 50 AUD, and here's what you could expect in the game so far. So there are two modes. There is competition mode, where you, I guess, create a custom league and play your way through that. So I haven't delved in to how it works and whatnot, but it does seem pretty cool. And finally, there is a casual match, where you can run a simulation of the computer playing, or of course play yourself against the computer. Speaking of, there are 20 available teams right now, and it's looking like only France and Australia are fully photo scanned. I may be wrong, but I've only played with France and Australia. I tried playing with South Africa, but no one was scanned from what I saw, at least. As for the available teams in early access, I'll try to get everyone's kits, starting with the first team: France, Uruguay, Namibia, South Africa, Scotland, Tonga, Australia, Georgia, Japan, Argentina, Samoa, Chile, Spain, the USA, Hong Kong, China, Brazil, Zimbabwe, Croatia, Paraguay, Uganda, and Sweden. What I will say, the biggest pros of this game so far is the presentation, from the UI to the cutscenes, which you will see in a sec. As for the settings, what you can play as, there are 5 difficulty levels: easy, easier, medium, hard, harder, or hardest, sorry. And there's only one stadium available, Stade de France. Also, another thing to note about me, I have played every single Big Ant Studios Rugby League game, and I still play their most recent, which was 2017, a modded version of Rugby League Live 4, till this day. And what I will say about the gameplay in terms of animations and that, it does kind of feel familiar, and I have noticed some animations from the Rugby League Live franchise mixed with some new ones, which is a nice treat for someone that's played the games for so long. But yeah, let's get to this presentation, because I do think it's one of the shining lights for the game. The visuals, it is a beautiful game, and the commentary I quite enjoy as well. The commentators are Jonathan Davies, Andrew Cotter, and Sean Holly.
A warm welcome to all. My name is Andrew Cotter. We've been looking forward to this one between France and the Wallabies. Now, both teams will want to show that they are the best in the business, and today they'll get the chance to show just that. Well, joining me in the box, Jonathan Davis. Jeffy, your thoughts on this one?
Cheers, Andrew. Well, the stage is set, and what a game we have on our hands. I think this match is too close to call.
Alright, so this will be a post-commentary, not a live gameplay, but yeah, unfortunately my experience so far, now granted this is early access, I wasn't expecting much, and unfortunately so far my experience with the game hasn't been an enjoyable one. So I'll just cut and paste some, I'll try and put together some nice gameplay of the game, but yeah, for the moment it is unplayable for myself, and I've sat with it now for a few hours, trying to learn the ins and outs. So gameplay wise, it is super bare bones. There are no, in attack there are no set plays. Transitions from being tackled into the ruck feels super clunky. It's like game breaking clunky, and it's hard to get a cohesive game going, you know, something free flowing. So just keeping on attack with the passing, sometimes it feels good, sometimes it feels unresponsive, it feels slow. You see some floaters like in their Rugby League games, so there's a bit of tuning that needs to be done there. I do like the targeted passing though, that feels responsive. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there are flat cutout passes to get the ball moving quicker when manually selecting an option. Again, like I said, the game in its current state is bare bones, and they'll probably add that type of stuff later, as well as set plays. I will try to perform some like chip kicks and grabber kicks and whatnot. Speaking of kicks, that does feel nice. The kicking feels super responsive. Place kicking feels nice, although I've only scored 2 tries, and it's been in front of the post. I've yet to score out wide. I don't know how difficult it could get, but overall the kicking is a positive in this game. Moving on to defense, they do have this option called jockey movement, which feels like something from Rugby League Live 4, where you hold L2 or LT and your player stands flat and you like move from side to side. So like set plays and attack, there's no defensive formations, and defending in general feels super unresponsive. You do use the right stick, but it feels like the only tackle with the right stick is a dive tackle, which is weird. Weird because diving from the front makes your player miss most of the time, and that's a mechanic carried over from the Rugby League games. front diving tackles just never connected, because its proper use was for tackling players from behind or last ditch diving, making them stumble or ankle tapping them, which is in the game. That'll probably explain why players are flying all over the place when trying to make a tackle. I don't actually know how to make a proper tackle, so I just leave it up to the AI to tackle, and I try to get involved with the ruck. Speaking of the ruck, it doesn't really feel like I'm doing anything. There are 2 available buttons. You press Y for tackle a contest and B to bind to the ruck. They do have in the controls X to steal, but that does not work for me. The ruck kind of feels like, I believe it was Rugby 22 or Rugby 20. I haven't touched those games in years, but it's looking like only 3 players max get into the ruck. So that's pretty much attacking and defending in a nutshell. Like I said, bare bones, super bare bones. My thoughts on the set piece, starting with the lineouts. It would be hard to stuff up how a lineout works in game, but it's what you'd expect. The old front, middle, back option. The scrum is pretty straightforward as well. There are 3 phases: the set, hook, and then the drive phase. You get like 3 pushes after that. A neat little feature, if you can't get the ball out, so they repack the scrum. Sometimes it feels responsive, sometimes it feels like I'm not doing anything at all, but for the most part it does work nice. It does flow well, just like the line out. One thing that's in the game that I wasn't expecting is the replay system, and it works just as smoothly as their replay systems in Rugby League Live 3 and 4. So is it worth $50 right now in its current state? No, but you're not really paying $50 for how it is right now, right? You're paying for the end product. I'm actually surprised that it's only $50. I had that to spare. I was always going to get it, honestly. If you don't have it to spare, if you're a frugal gamer, you could probably wait this one out for a couple updates, because like I said, the game in its current state isn't really fun to play. I've found myself being more frustrated with the bugs. Again, I'd like to reiterate, so this is the first version of early access. There'll be plenty of versions, plenty of updates, just like they're doing with their tennis game. I would love to see a roadmap of gameplay additions, teams, comps, and whatnot for the future. Judging from the notifications that I get from their tennis game, I don't have the game, but it seems like the updates and improvements are pretty frequent. That's pretty much all my thoughts on the game so far. Just a quick recap, I do love the presentation. The visuals are the best we've seen in a rugby game. Oh, the audio, I didn't touch on the audio. The atmosphere, I think they nailed that as well. I swear I heard them sing Waltzing Matilda when I was playing with the Wallabies. I think they've nailed the set piece. It's the general gameplay that's really lacking. Although I'm not really enjoying myself now with the gameplay, I can see the end product being pretty good, because the game just feels good, the movement feels good. I'll try my best to get some decent gameplay and attach it to the end of the video. For now though, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to run it straight at that like button, and for more rugby related content or more content in general, go ahead and drop your boy a cheeky sub. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you later.